Coming up on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills after show.
Oops. It's Christmas and everybody's celebrating and everybody has a family and I'm standing here and I'm like, the f do I have? Except a good time. So that's what I did. I had a good time.
It just seemed like it was getting progressively worrisome.
It gets
But you
away
don't
from
want
me.
to get to a point where we're all worried about you and it looks a little messy and sloppy.
I think that it was meant like, oh, you know, does Erika have a problem? And it was like, no, Erika's in a crisis.
I'm thinking, if we've seen her drunk a few times, I'm not really thinking it's that big of an issue.
If you started acting like that, I'd be like, Garcelle, what in the hell? I don't think that they necessarily look like her great friends.
I'm glad you have Cherie because I think Sutton is a liability for you.
Really?
Yes. It's like, girl, I want to get to know you. I want to have fun with you, but not at the expense of you rushing to Sutton's rescue.
If there's a liability in the group, it is certainly not Sutton to me.
Just giving you the insider's point of view so that you can decide if you want a third date or not.
All I want is a boyfriend.
Listen, take a number, honey. Take a number.
The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills after show starts now.
At Diana's holiday party, it gets to a point where Lisa Rinna needs to walk Erika out because Erika's had a couple too many drinks.
Say goodbye. Wait, this way. There we go. Here we go. Bye, girls.
I was just thinking, this timing could not be worse. I have just been sitting here defending Erika.
It's Erika. It's getting out of control.
This is not her normal behavior and
You can say that because you've known her more. I can't.
Right, but
I can't say that.
Can't you be a little open-minded and say that? Cue drunk Erika. She walks in and can barely stand up. Rinna is having to hold her up, and I was just like, no, this could not be worse timing.
I wasn't there, but I did hear that.
Oh, I had a little
you
too
may have
much
been a
Christmas
little
cheer.
Overserved.
Yeah.
Hit the high note.
Well, you know, I have one life to live, and this is it. So, you know, what can I say?
Christmas.
It's Christmas.
I mean,
and I was sad. If you want to know the truth. And that's a lot of it, too. It's like, it's Christmas, and everybody's celebrating, and everybody has a family, and I'm standing here, and I'm like, the f I have, you know? So, except a good time. So that's what I did. I had a good time. Then I remember Lisa walking me out, and I was like, no, I'm fine. And she's like, no, you aren't. Oops.
With them here.
I did.
We're leaving. We're leaving.
I didn't even tell you this. I found my shoes in the front courtyard. Just a pair of pumps.
I love it how you made it just like 2 steps in, and
Oh,
you
no,
had to
I
leave
always
them.
get in, and then I was like,
I can't believe it.
yeah, no, a pair of pumps right in the courtyard.
Oh my goodness, that's
It was
funny.
good. It was a good time.
It's one thing to let your hair down and have a good time, and it's another thing to be out of control. For me, it just seemed like it was getting progressively worrisome.
Seeing her in Mexico on the boat, she was out of control.
Garcelle,
Yeah,
go down and pee on that new girl.
I'm not peeing on the new girl. And then seeing her at my party.
What are you doing here? Flowers. Get the f out of here.
He's just gonna.
Don't cuss it out of here.
I know we're all friends, and I just feel like sometimes we can't always be in denial just for the safety of our friendship.
Garcelle brought it up, and I felt real uncomfortable. Like, I don't want to talk about that because we don't know what that is. I remember thinking, like, is she drinking too much? But I was hoping it was like a one-off. It became like Kyle was defending Erika.
just maybe making little mistakes, and we kind of cut her some slack, kind of a thing.
And then Garcelle felt like you're just always negating what I say.
You cut her some slack. I don't need to cut her some slack.
I don't disagree with that Kyle does that. Yeah, I don't disagree with that one.
For 7 years, I've never seen Erika ever be drunk. So I'm thinking, if we've seen her drunk a few times, you know, in the last, 6 months, I mean, she's gone through a lot. So I'm not really thinking it's that big of an issue.
Her life has fallen apart.
Yes.
So
Right.
when your life falls apart, you can act in strange ways.
Yeah, of course. Of course. She deserves to let her hair down. She deserves to have some fun. But when is it let your hair down, have some fun, and then when is it dangerous?
Here's the thing also I'd like to say. Dorit's known me for, 7 years now? Have you ever seen me like that?
No.
No. I have always been the most in control, uptight, tightly laced. PK was like, Erika, you're such a good time. I was like, yeah, I know. Where has this woman been? I'm like, no, it's the real me. Like, you know, whatever.
No, we have wanted.
They've wanted to see this, and then they got a big dose of, and then they were like, okay, calm it down.
I think that's why a lot of us that have known her for a long time, we weren't looking at it as like, oh, you shouldn't be doing this.
No, they were actually, the women that know me for
excited.
many years were actually very supportive, and they were like, you actually earned the right to do this. But I think there were some others in the group that wanted to make something of it that it really isn't, whatever. But I had a good time with my friends, so whatever, moving on.
After Diana's party, you have a conversation with Lisa Rinna about the aftermath.
How was your holiday party?
How was our holiday party?
I don't really remember.
I wouldn't think you would. Our girl was face. I mean,
Yeah.
you were slurring your words. You were out of control.
This is why Lisa and I are friends. She said, look, Erika, I'm gonna tell you something. One time is cute, meaning Mexico, she wasn't even there. And she referenced herself. She said, drunk Rinna is fun once. Drunk Rinna is not cute twice. You need to pull yourself together. It's not good. I know you're in a lot of pain, which I really appreciated Lisa acknowledging. She goes, I know what you're doing, Erika. You're trying to cope, you're trying to self-medicate, you're trying to feel good. And it was, and I still am. I mean, no shame in my game. I still am. But she said, look, there is a point where this is not okay. And you're at that point where your reputation, which is already, hurt, gets hurt further. And you can't come back from this shit. So you have to stop. And she's right. I mean, no doubt.
And then shortly after that, you and Garcelle meet, and she voices her concern.
Last couple of times I saw you, you were a little tipsy.
Oh, I wasn't tipsy. I was blacked out.
Okay. I was starting off slow.
No, but I appreciate you trying to be gentle, but it wasn't.
Course.
It was blacked out.
I thought we had a really great conversation. I was just like, it just seems like you're mixing. You got to figure out what that mix is.
Medicine, and thinking I could drink on it, just like this.
Because it's not working. And she actually owned it and said, yeah, you're right. I have to figure that out. I think maybe one drink is my limit. And what do you say to someone? I mean, she's a grown woman. She says this. I take it. It's her life, essentially. But I thought, okay, great. She's got a handle on it, and she's got it.
Here's the thing with Garcelle. I always feel like Garcelle takes a little bit harder line with me when it comes to these things. But I was looking for a little bit more understanding because she had dealt with her eldest son, Oliver's addiction.
My son Oliver has dealt with addiction.
Oh, wow.
We've been through so much.
But I didn't feel like I got it, but I really would have liked it.
Did you feel like it was more judgmental and less concern?
Yes.
Everybody wants to have fun, and you, after last year, I
Deserve
get
a
it.
little bit of fun.
I do.
Yeah, but it gets
But
away
you don't
from
want
me.
to get to a point where we're all worried about you and it looks a little messy and sloppy.
And I think that it was also meant like, oh, does Erika have a problem? Is she, and it was like, no, Erika's in a crisis. And Erika's trying the best she can to show up every day.
If you started acting like that.
Erica's really concerned too.
Have your baby mama contact me. We can get it in three-way. It's all good. Oops.
With them here.
You would say something to me.
I wouldn't be like,
And vice
oh,
versa.
Garcelle's just having
Right.
fun. I'd be like, Garcelle, what in the hell?
Right.
You look like a disaster area.
Right.
And we got to get this together.
Right. And that's what we wish the other women would say.
Well, they're her friends.
Because they're closer, right? They're closer to her.
And I don't think that they necessarily look like her great friends. There, I said it.
You did.
When you see someone in pain, you know what they're doing to themselves. You're trying to escape this, I mean, it's rough. Day after day getting hit with things and just, you're out here by yourself trying to navigate. It gets tough, So I would appreciate it if I was just given a little bit of grace, but I'm not giving, I'll get it from some, but not from others.
Can you tell us a little bit about your rules for dating?
Go through these rules all the time. People need to understand these rules because they're very good. One, I go for a drink. I don't do coffee because I don't drink coffee. You don't want me on coffee. She knows. Yeah. So I go for a drink, not dinner, because if you get caught in dinner and they're boring or terrible,
You're stuck.
You're stuck.
Yeah.
So just a drink. And
But
then,
how do you get up after that one drink? That's my thing. I'm like,
No, I'm like, gotta go.
Okay.
And also, Josh is lurking around somewhere. He's always like in the corner.
I didn't know you take Josh.
He like hides.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Josh, my assistant, is usually stalking me somewhere, making sure that I don't get roofied. Because that does happen.
Because what if this guy's like, Ted Bundy or something, and he wants to kill me?
I always wondered that.
Yeah. And remember that one time I went on this date, and I had one drink, and he made me split the bill, and I was like, I had one drink.
The worst.
And then he asked me for cash for the valet.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, here's $20. And Josh in Georgia, who works in my store, I had parked my car at the store. I walked to the store, and Georgia, because she had been spying on the date, came back to the store and she goes, Sutton, he went back into the place. So
He didn't even use the $20.
I think he used the $20 to get another drink. I just have the worst luck. So, one drink maximum.
Important follow-up, though. Was there a second date?
With that guy?
No way.
No second date with the guy that needed $20 for the valet.
And to split the bill of one drink? I mean, like, come
Exactly.
on,
I
guys.
lost on that one. I lost
Yeah,
big
that's
time on
terrible.
that one. You know what else I do now, though? It's important to get their first and last name and birth date, because then I send it over to my business manager, and
She does a forensic.
I get the forensic accountants involved for sure. I don't care how much money they have.
No, she
I
doesn't.
just want to make sure that they have not gone to jail for an important crime.
On the first date?
No, after the first date.
Oh, okay.
Like if I want to actually date this person.
And it's good to get first, last name, and look on social media, too.
Well, just make sure that they're for real,
Well,
like
that's
legit.
what I mean. If they don't have a digital footprint, that's a little flag.
I agree. Yep. Or if they won't give you their last name, that's
that's
weird.
a flag.
Yep. Why don't you have a last name?
Yeah.
Everybody's got a last name.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of
I'm
like that
Sutton
movies.
Stratton. Nice to meet
Yeah.
you. What's your name? Rodney. Rodney what?
Have you gone out with somebody named Rodney?
I would. Rodney's right. Why not Rodney?
Okay.
I'm right there with you. I do the same thing. Also ask what hometown they grew up in. That's a good key to find their online.
Oh, that's good.
See, we're learning stuff.
Hometown.
Hometown.